What up, folks? I'm in the lab again. What are we doing? Alright, so continuing on with my experimentation with these silicone crystal graphene structure plates I've been playing with, and I wanted to expand it because, well, I realized that I wasn't using an electrolyte in between the two plates where all the good crystal stuff is going on. And as a result, it seems that the only capacitance this thing really has is permittivity of free space. You know, it's just the air, the cracks of air in between, you know, all the grooves and bumps and notches in there. However, at this point, it's like completely fully dried, and I kind of made sure to press down that piece of wire onto the aluminum. I actually used a little bit of my saliva as an electrolyte because it wasn't giving good contact, and now it seems to be working just fine, back to 600 millivolts. But I gotta figure out also how to pull out on this thing. So since I want to make these guys do a little bit more, you know, real work, I've taken some consideration into putting a third layer in between them, and what it's gonna be is over here. What I took was one of these, a similar copper plate like that, slightly coated, slightly not, and all I did was I just put two current collectors, two current collector wires coming off of it, and I've encapsulated it, or encased it, with a heavy-duty paper towel. It's just super glue along the edge so it doesn't come apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to soak it in an electrolyte. I've got a few different electrolytes I can try, but most likely going to go with either hydrochloric acid or some other electrolyte, maybe even salt water if I don't find anything good. So what we're going to do is I've gotten the plates already starting to be prepared. I didn't want to repeat the process what I did here with you know, shoddy electrical tape and my spit as electrolyte. I wanted something more permanent, so what I tried was a little bit of super glue and crushed up charcoal crystals, the activated charcoal crystals you get in like air filters and stuff like that. I just powdered it up and I mixed it with some super glue over here, and I tried that as a connection, and although it stays and it's connected, and you know, you do get a connection, it's a heavy resistance because the copper wire terminates into that graphene powder, which then is connected to the aluminum plate, which has some kind of nano coating on the surface. So lo and behold, that gave me somewhere between 4 kilo ohms to about 6 kilo ohms, measuring from the end of this wire to anywhere on the plate. I didn't like that. You know, it seems to be not really a good thing. I left it on there for experimentation purposes so I can play around with it once this capacitor is completed. Now what I've done instead is I just took a little piece of aluminum, or sorry, a little piece of sandpaper, really fine grit, sanded it down till I had some exposed, nice, decently exposed and shiny, reflective conductor there, and then I just took one of these little wires, spread it apart, and just glued it down. And what I did was, to make sure it had contact, I took a piece of untreated aluminum foil, cut a little square out, see a little square, and then I just stuck it on top so that the glue is holding the aluminum firmly to the current collector that I put on there. So I made one plate here, second plate here, they're both drying, so we're gonna let them dry for a few hours. And then afterwards, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sandwich them together with that in the middle and soak that in an electrolyte and seal it all up with a vacuum sealer, and we'll see what happens.